You know, how do I analyze it? Sometimes in life, when you go one way, that you hate towards something and you're really, really looking forward to, and then the moment happens towards the one line, and it completely falls apart, makes you wonder was this all this worth it? Was everything that lead up to the finish line worth the wait? But you were headed towards so great, so everything you led up you to one goal in your life. You're headed towards something. You're doing great, and then when you either fail or when you grab it, it completely falls apart afterwards, and you have to start all over again. And well, not I don't even know if I even tried to make sense of it, but if in case you are wondering, that is how was AEW Revolution 2025. Almost 90% of the show was good to great. And then the main event falls fucking flat. And it makes you wonder why did I wait 3 hours for this shit? But you got many good things on this show. Like like when you look at this show, there was plenty things for you to enjoy. But that main event just completely turns a line from that, and my God, we will get into it, but this is your AEW Revolution 2025 review from yours truly, Slowpool Eddie. Hey, and yeah, this you can not say this was a fun show because it was at most times to most of this show. It was. Let's get started off with the opener with MJF versus Heyman Adam Page. You know, it's really truly the feud that we didn't really know we quite needed. But and at the same time, this was definitely the feud that these two desperately needed, especially for guys like Maswell. He was he completely lost his luster during that Adam Adam Cole feud, and he was completely treading water for a few weeks before this feud. And even for Heyman, he was not feeling so special. He was at when after his feud which was pause. After that whole that whole deal was getting done at that all out show back in September, he was not doing that much. So when you put those few in a field again and you get stuff like this, that is when you see the result. And this was a very good match. Then it like I think like the crowd, some of the spots were like kind of silly, like and like there were getting some points where I thought it was kind of like trying to rap, but it didn't really get to that level. There were some parts, but this was a very good match, and like the crowd was into it, of course, and like yeah, like I I didn't quite I didn't quite like super enjoy it, but this was a very good match. And like when I thought about some silly like spots like with the tombstone, I thought the spot looked cool, but then like was not the finish of the match, so you kind of take it where you think. But yeah, yeah, but but like I said, this was a very good match, and quite stunned that Heyman out of page one. I thought for sure MJF was winning, but you know what? Honestly, yeah, Heyman kinda needed this more because he has been taking a lot of losses past few months, so he kinda definitely need a win here. So yeah, but very good match. Next up is for the TBS Championship. You got Mercedes Mane defending her title against Momo Wantabe. Wantabe, that's her name. So if I pronounce it wrong, it's Mono Wantabe. And I don't know if I said this before or not, but I think we're getting to a point where Mercedes matches where it's kind of hard to really buy being in any sort of danger for losing the title. So there's not much that intrigue to her matches because you know in this one more times out of 10 she's going to win. So it was gonna be hard to get invested. That being said, this was a decent match, but I thought it was dragging for too long. It was kind of dragging for too long, and like it took like a very long time to really get going and to get the crowd in. So yeah, so the match was decent, but again, it like any sort of drama. So yeah, so that's really what it was, and like yeah, and Mercedes just retained her TBS title, so there's nothing much to it. So yeah, so Mercedes retains in a fine match, but it took a little bit, and it like any sort of drama because you knew going in Mercedes wasn't losing, so there's that. Then we get to honestly the match that I was looking forward to the most. Sorry about that weird background noise. So I was trying to read out the match in chronological order. So we get, like I said, the match that I was kind of looking forward to the most out of any of this show. It's Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet for the number one contendership for the AEW World Title. And if Swerve Strickland wins here, then Prince Nana gets his role back. And for something that could be so easily silly, I love how they made that thing to a really big deal. Like, and I just love how this feud got more out of this. Like, these two got more out of feeling with each other. Like, I think Ricochet is doing some of his best work of his entire career in terms of, like, character. Like, we all know he's very great in the ring, but he's like we all know he can be very athletic in the ring. But I think this his overall package in AEW right now, like this is on his best stuff, and his promos have gone way up now that he's been a heel. And like, I look at Swerve Strickland and I see how monstrously over he's been. Like, and it's kind of struck with me while I was watching this. So he's like, and then there are very over guys like Osprey, Cope, um, her syndicate. There are very over people, Tony Storm and all that stuff. But it kind of stuck with me how fans just go ape shit and just go. And when Priest not doing the dancing and stuff, how everyone does the dancing, and I see him having that presence about it, and I'm thinking like, if they don't put the world title back on this dude by next month, then these people are out of their flipping minds. Because I don't see how can you watch this match and like not think to yourself, how do you not put the world title on him? Like, it's going to get very hard to justify putting the title on him. But yeah, this was a really good match. Like, I very enjoyed it, and yeah, like I just love the story that these two were building here, and they managed to tell it very well. And Ricochet was very entertaining, trying to like having Prince Nana's robe literally during the match. That gotta pop out of me. But yeah, like this was a really great stuff, and and they got, and I think the near falls worked for me in this instance because it's a shot for the world title, and you really want to have that feel of these two are throwing everything out the wall just for a chance at a world title shot, and they still got me through it, and I was in it along with it, and you had a really electric finish of like um Chris Nana taking the road and Cersei taking advantage of Ricochet and hit his finish for the 1, 2, 3, and Sir Strickland wins here and is now the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. He's gonna challenge for the world title at Dynasty. So yeah, like I said, when you watch how the crowd reacted to him after the match and how everyone was doing the praise Nana dance, and how the fans were really into Swerve here, it's going to be fucking hard to justify not pulling the title back on him. Just saying. But yeah, this was a very entertaining match. Really, really great stuff here. For the internet, for the, I almost gotta say internet, for the Continental Championship, you got Okada defending against Kazuchika Okada. Forgot his first name. Kazuchika Okada defending his title against Brody King. I kind of like how they've been putting a sort of focus on Brody King these past few weeks leading up to this, since I think he has what it takes to really try as a singles rest. Like that, like there's some huge upside to him, in my opinion. But yeah, this was a fine match, but again, like the TBS style, there was no real drama into this, because you know Okada was not losing his belt here. So there's that. And also, like, I felt like this was kind of a TV match. These these matches that I'm getting to, like, really feel like you could have taken off this show and you really wouldn't have lost much. So yeah. So they did their stuff. Okada wins, retains the Continental Championship. It was a fine match, and I thought Brody King looked good here, but you knew Okada wasn't losing here. So yeah. Next match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, you got the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defending against the Outrunners. And yeah, this was okay. It was not like poor, but this was so average. And yeah, but I think it kind of needed what it needed to be. Like, the Outrunners are an entertaining ad duo on TV, but you knew they weren't gonna stand a chance against the Hurt Syndicate. So booking a match short like this was all kind of needed to be. But this again felt like a TV match, really, that you really didn't quite need to be on this show. But yeah. And the Hurt Syndicate hurt people and they retain the titles. I do fucking love their theme song, by the way. It's one of my favorite wrestling themes currently. That thing. It's just such a bop. That's all I gotta say. So yeah. So, an average match that was kinda not much to say. But yeah. But what we can see through a lot here is for the AEW Women's Championship, you got Timeless Toni Storm defending her championship against Mariah May in the building that was called the Hollywood Ending. And I was kind of thinking how they will manage this, how they were execute this with this, then prominently saying this is the Hollywood ending. And this match is a perfect example that you really don't need a lot of time. It's about the time that you give it and maximize and make it the most of it. And boy, these two ladies did. Like, they made a Hollywood and made it into a fucking horror film. Like, this match kick ass on all cylinders for what it was. And I love how the risk that these two ladies did with the blood, especially Tony Storm. My God, that will make Ric Flair so proud, even with fucking Flair proud, with the blade job that these two ladies did. But especially on Tony, like the visual seeing her lay down with blood with all the glass in her way, like my God. But yeah, this was probably my favorite match of that night. For how they went above and beyond. But how above and beyond these two girls did here to one another, and the the spots that you see. And I love the finish with Tony hitting Mariah with 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 the shoot that started this whole feud with Mariah making Tony bleed all those months ago. Tony did the same to Mariah and Storm Zero, and she retains it. But God damn, this match was so great. It was so awesome. Like, not every big match has to be 15, 20 minutes. Not every uh, not even like every like big match, like not every tire big tire match has to last a good 20-25 minutes. And these two ladies commanded here, and this was like after this they already know that this is the best woman storyline that AEW has ever done. One of the best rivalries that they ever done. And they ended here great, and and mad respect for those ladies to we're above beyond for what women wrestling hardcore matches can be, because you really rarely get to see women bleed into a level like this, and then to the level of streaming in this match. You gotta commend both of these ladies. Yeah. And I think this is the feud that pretty much elevates both people. Mariah, even despite the not good booking of her women's title, got elevated so much. It did so much for her feuding with Tony Storm, and for Tony Storm as well, as adding another layer to her character by adding that dimensional gimmick the with the old Tony Storm gimmick, and then coming back to life as this timeless character. Yeah, this was a really great shit, and really awesome match. This was this was great, and yeah, I really gonna miss this feud for mostly, and yeah, and 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 they did so much and did it in less time. And that because the next two matches really went, I think like three matches, to be fair, went like an hour each. That combined like almost went an hour each. And yeah, and you got the international type between Takeshita versus Kenny Omega. And you know, why wasn't on, in my opinion, the capital of the one match that they had in like I think All Out 2023. This was still a very really good match. Like for Kenny Omega to like still do what he do after that Diabetic Elias thing and still able to get that performance. And you also gotta commend him for it because that was like he was really good and we always know what and you know what you're gonna get out of Takeshita. So yeah, like this is and like it took their time but and they went there and they built it and built it and I thought this was really great match. Like and it's really like kind of the perfect return match. Like a very like for a pay-per-view match, return match for Kingdom, and this is kind of like a perfect way to introduce him to like having that sort of match against a guy he can't beat because they mentioned he had to get that has always got the one upper hand on Kingdom and pinning him not once but twice. So you had that story going in for a match with a guy like a Kenny and I love how this was kind of book of how Omega was kind of sorry for using that veteran experience to push through and to win this match. Of how Don Callis was getting involved to this and Kenny Omega was still able to outsmart Takeshita and win the international title. Like that was a great finish. And yeah, like this was a really great match also. Like Kenny Omega special. He's a special kind of cat in this business and we know what the catcher is. It's great. So yeah. So I really enjoyed this match. So it's not much to me to say I enjoyed this match. So then the steel cage match between Will Ospreay versus Kyle Flash. This is their third and final match of their installment of their feud. Oh boy. You know, for a good point during this was a very good match. I thought they had it there with how uh, with how they were building their hatred for one another, Kyle and Will. I thought they had it there, but I don't know when when Will hit the Styles Clash. After they all did it, so I kind of thought like, yeah, like that probably should have been it, but instead it wasn't. I think that's where they kind of lost me. This was still a very good match. I just thought it wasn't at the level of two matches. I really like the Full Gear match, and I definitely like their World's End match way more than this. And I thought for the second half it got very draggy, and they were just doing like stuff just for the sake of it. If that makes sense. But yeah. And I thought with the blood here, they really didn't move me because after what we just saw Tony Storm Mariah Ray pull through in their match, I just didn't get like it just didn't get to me like I did with Tony Mariah. It just didn't get me. I thought the finish was cool with Kyle Fletcher saying I hate you and was telling him one last of the defiance and realized we hit the hidden blade for for this and hit the Tiger Driver to win, I think. So yeah, this was a very good match that just kind of dragged almost too long for my liking, and yeah, like when I say that not every like big match needs to like have go 25, 30 minutes. This is kind of but I didn't get bored too. That's the one thing if I can give credit to this match, I they didn't it didn't bore me. Unlike the next match I'm going to talk about for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley defending his world title against what no what he used to be Adam Copeland, his real name. But now you can call him. He's just Cope. And yeah, Moxley versus Cope for the AEW World Title. Um, not a good match. Not a good matchup. Even when for what I saw, even when I kind of placed it at my World's End review, I kind of knew for the get go this was kind of a bad idea. Because with how Cope wrestles his style and with how Jon Moxley wrestles his style, I didn't think their style were going to match well in a big match like this on a pay-per-view main event for a long time. And it didn't. And like also they put these guys in a very no-win situation because after watching all the stuff that you saw on Revolution and like after all what we saw in the last after what we just saw in the last 3 matches, they did this guy zero fucking favors by putting this match last after what we just saw in the last 3 matches. And this this was just this was not good, guys. Like for the main event for a world title main event, like, this was bad. For a main event match, this was boring. Like, this just feel very bland. This felt very Monet, and for a whole while you were thinking, because you knew there was gonna be a fuckery finish, with how this story built. That you knew there was gonna be some screwery with this finish, and I think that's when they genuinely lost me. Because of how they executed the finish, they completely lost me on this. The match was not. The match was bad already enough, but then the fucking finish revealed you no surprise. He's back with John Moxley after teasing tension. He's suddenly back with Moxley the Death Rider shit and shoot me now. Then you get some Jay White inadvertently hitting Cope. And I thought that was gonna be it for the fifth, but Cope kicks out. He hit now one but two spears to John Moxley, about to win the title. But hey, Christian Cage shows up, and hey, he's got the counter that we almost barely even fucking talk about on this fucking show. And he cashes in. And I thought, okay, we might see a title shake. I was like, hallelujah, the radio tale, the fucking damn fire story is finally done with. But John Moxley had a sleeper on a freshly Christian K, while Anna Cope Cope was laying there for dead in the middle of the fucking ring. And Moxley just passes out Christian Cage and retains the world title. So literally everything you did with Christian and the counter was just one gigantic waste of fucking time, because we're back to square one with this, and you can tell how the crowd hated the finish of the match. It really reflected on that, because this was just some waste of time shit. And I kind of like already ranting on the Death Rider story, but this is like, they completely lost the plot with this story. This was supposed to be about Moxley elevating some younger talent from AEW that were there from day one or near day ones. But now it went on so beyond that, it's not even feels it's the same story anymore. It's just, here's a collective of guys in a heel fashion going up against normally top face guys that some of them are from another company. This is fucking pitchful at this point. And I don't even know if Swerve is even gonna fucking win. That's kind of the sad point. I don't even know if Swerve is even going to win. He better at Dynasty, but who even fucking knows at this point? And yeah, this whole entire way of drama is completely lost on me. And yeah, like, this match was bad. again, like, it completely dragged this show down for what I thought was a very good to great pay per view. They just had to end it with this shit. And it kind of tells you how AEW is currently, with how everything seems fine to good, but then you had the, the this story with the Deathline that completely lost its own purpose months ago. And yeah. But again, I can't just look at it and say this was a bad show, because it wasn't. This was a very good to great show again. And yeah, AEW is pretty known for having great pay per views like this. But yeah, this was another strong element on that. It wasn't. I can't like say one of the best of shows like ever, because that may have been just totally drag it down for me. So you say, but this was still a great pay per view Revolution show. So that's how I'll leave it at that. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this Revolution show in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Maenius, and I approve this message.